Hello again, everyone. Edwin Leonard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be talking about Jupiter's square or opposition in midheaven in a natal chart. Now, some of you may remember when I first started my YouTube astrology channel, I did a series on the aspects of the natal chart. They were a little bit concise. Some people may have referred to them as snappy. So what I decided to do is make another series on them in which the videos would be a little bit longer and more descriptive. So anyway, first thing up is if you have Jupiter square or opposite the midheaven in a natal chart, one way it may manifest is there may be difficulty in terms of finding the exuberance and enthusiasm, which is Jupiter, for career-related matters, which is the midheaven. Now, if the midheaven is in Virgo, as an example, career-related matters may be tied in with statistics, analytics. It might be something associated with organizations, such as working as a professional organizer, health and fitness, working as a dietitian, nutritionist, a physician, as some examples. Now, another thing, too, about these aspects is that it may be hard to find that ambition, which is the midheaven, to expand horizons, which is Jupiter. And the thing is, if Jupiter is in Aquarius, as an example, expanding horizons may be tied in with altruism, humanitarianism, and maybe doing something with astrology, astronomy, computers, electronics, meteorology, aviation, innovation, as some examples. And another thing about these aspects is that in-laws and foreigners, which is Jupiter, may not be overly beneficial to the success in general that you attain, which is the midheaven. Now, if the midheaven is in Capricorn, as an example, that success you may attain will be tied in with government or political work, and maybe something associated with architecture, construction, information technology, dentistry, accounting, business, something with carpentry, could even be general mundane work in some instances. And the thing about it is, another thing about these aspects is that authority figures, older people, and also the dominant parent, which is often the father, which is the midheaven, may not be compatible or in agreement with your philosophies, your beliefs, and your humor, which is Jupiter. Now, going to Jupiter in Sagittarius, as an example, philosophies and beliefs may be tied in with religion, or ability to expand horizons, go outside the box, being optimistic. Jupiter in Aquarius may have unorthodox or unusual type beliefs or philosophies. It may be philosophies connected with astrology or being progressive, future-oriented, moving forward, as some examples. And Jupiter in Aquarius, the humor may be somewhat eclectic or, unusual or unorthodox as well, as some examples. Now, another thing, too, about Jupiter square or opposition in midheaven in a natal chart is that there may be trouble as far as expressing benevolence, philanthropy, and goodwill, which is Jupiter, to those people as well. The aforementioned people, the dominant parent, which is often the father, authority figures, and older people. Now, which is the midheaven. Now, let's say, if the midheaven is in Aries, as an example, those people, may either one or more of those persons may actually be an Aries sun, moon, or ascendant, or embody the characteristics of the sign. It could be people that are very aggressive, assertive, forceful, courageous, brave, self-reliant, independent, may also be very abrupt, outspoken, impulsive, and impetuous as well. And another thing, too, is that if you have one of these aspects in your natal chart, another way it may manifest is that, higher education, which is Jupiter, may not be overly advantageous to your livelihood, which is the midheaven. Now, it doesn't mean, just because somebody has one of these aspects that the higher education and college studies won't benefit the career at all, but it may, on average, be less advantageous or auspicious in terms of, what you're doing. As far as your career goes, it may wind up where, your higher education course may be different than what is connected with your career, that what you learn in college at times may have nothing to do with what you ultimately decide to do in terms of your livelihood. Now, let's say if the midheaven is in Taurus, as an example, the livelihood, the career may be associated with geology, carpet laying, banking, finance, architecture, agriculture, gardening, cultivation, something associated with art or music, as some examples. And also, too, Jupiter-related people may not be in agreement, with the qualities you have that are difficult to suppress, which is the midheaven. And Jupiter-related people encompasses a number of persons. It could be people that are in-laws, foreigners, those that are involved in sports, the outdoors, camping, religion, higher education, publishers, advertisers, people that are involved in printing press operation, as some examples. And the thing is, let's say if you have your midheaven in Scorpio, it might be, maybe some caustic, incisive, or probing qualities that these people may not be in agreement with, those qualities that are difficult to suppress. The midheaven and Aquarius, qualities that those people have that are difficult to suppress may be ones that are very rebellious, non-conforming. There may be idiosyncratic qualities even, that are just hard to, or difficult, to hold back or suppress. Now, also too, another thing about these aspects is that you may also lack optimism, which is Jupiter, or be over-optimistic in trying to just accomplish and achieve things in general, which is the midheaven. Now, the thing is, if the midheaven is in Libra, as an example, those things that you're trying to accomplish and achieve may be tied in. It could be with art or music, or doing something in the legal field, such as working as an attorney, paralegal, a judge, a bailiff, as some examples, doing something with arbitration or negotiation. Also, too, there may be difficulty, in publishing and advertising, which is Jupiter, in order to promote your career or business, which is the midheaven. So it could be that, whether publishing and advertising just may not, supremely benefit what you're doing that is connected with your career, or it could be monetary issues, where you have trouble, promoting, things that are connected with your career, because you don't maybe have the monetary situation to be able to publish and advertise. I have Jupiter square my midheaven in my natal chart, and it's difficult for me to promote what I'm doing astrologically because of the monetary situation that I'm in. Now, another thing, and the thing is, so let's say if the midheaven is in Gemini, as an example, your the career, or business may be tied in with the communication field, such as data or satellite communications, that may be connected with something with manual dexterity, such as auto or refrigeration mechanics. And also, to Jupiter-related people may not be propitious, in terms of your public image and reputation, which is midheaven. Again, Jupiter-related people can cover a number of persons, whether it's people that could be in-laws, foreigners, people that are involved in philosophy, religion, sports, higher education, publishers, advertisers, as some examples. And the thing is, if you have your, midheaven, say, It's in Pisces. There may be some public image and reputation connected with being altruistic, sacrificing, helping those that are less fortunate, as some examples. And also, too, these aspects may not be overly lucky and fortunate, which is Jupiter, for attaining notoriety and recognition, which is the midheaven. Now, let's say the midheaven is in the zodiac sign Cancer, as an example. Notoriety and recognition may be attained. It may be some work involving food, cooking, restaurant, culinary work, real estate, something. It could be lifeguard work, doing something with interior decoration, or maybe being involved in some laundry or plumbing business, as some examples. Anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment. Until next time, Edwin Leonard saying stay